Okay, here we go. I'm Natalie Reitwitz from Traditional Healing Art and Earth Magic. And I didn't came live yesterday, a day later, because yesterday was International Women's Day, and I didn't felt at all like going live. It felt a lot exhausting and a lot of fighting and things coming up. So for me, yesterday, this was a very exhausting day. For me, this is connected to everything where we are at with this woman's energy and being equally, having equally rights with men. And in the western part we are further than in some eastern parts or in Africa. So there are daily and yearly so many women, so many young children, because there are female babies being killed, so many sexual vaginas being raped for sure, but also damaged, cut off just half of it, or women have so many pains their whole life for that. And then just seeing also in our whole society where we are, do we feel equal? Do women stand up? Do they speak up completely? Do they still believe they have to be shy and silent and do as they are told? So there's still so much happening in us in our time. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like celebration. I didn't felt yesterday like celebrating that. And I'm seeing it's a long path that we came. And so this week, on one side there's this abundance energy, and on the other side there's Elizabeth the First was coming in from England, and her mother got killed because she, once I think, the love from Heinrich was going somewhere else. And the other part was that she wasn't bringing on a boy. She wasn't birthing a boy. And this is still so common. It's still so common that female babies are being killed and that women have really a hard life when they are not birthing guys. And so this all happened on this background of knowing that Elizabeth I was such a great queen. She really was, bringing her whole England in such a good way forward, and was such a big sea power that she had in her hands, and she was dealing with all so well. I'm sure she was cruel too, as all the kings and queens at that time. And still, she stayed in being a virgin in a way. I'm sure that she wasn't a virgin, but she wasn't married, going into marriage. So that was for sure that no man could dominate her. And she was very well, because she has known, to split her love life to politics or her business, that it's not good going together. I mean, some kings can do that very well, but for women it was still different. It's still different when they want to stay on the place, being on the top of a country. So for me it's still, in Germany, it's interesting to look where this International Women's Day is really a holy day for the whole country. So in Germany it's just for Berlin, and you can have a look in Wikipedia if your country is listed on the countries that have that. I mean, for sure it if it is like that, that it's like a general holiday. In most of the Western countries it's not. Interesting enough. So we still have in politics and in so many areas that women are having not the same rights. For sure in the Western we have now, the right to vote since, 1900 something. And the first Women's Day started in 1900, I think 8 it was. But, still where are we? In Germany since the 70s. Just since the 1970s, we are allowed to decide if we want to work or not. We don't have to ask for permission anymore. Still, we have lots of abuse going on in our marriages. Still, we have lots of suppression, lots of damage, lots of, putting women down in our marriages. I know they also, the other part is also there, but at the moment it's more about the female part, the woman part that I'm talking. So it's all about the consciousness that we are all carrying still in our societies. Why is a female still less worth than a man? Why do females get less, or women get less paid than men? Why is that not equal still? You know, why is it that way that a woman, at the moment, she can live alone, she can raise her child. It's not such a damage to her than early on, but still, it's not so easy for her. Society is not really taking care of her. And then we have still, that women get raped, women get, kicked off marriages, women, often have not a lot of money when they grow old, but they have cared for the children, for the grandparents, for, great-grandparents sometimes, for society, that they lived in, did all these work that they didn't get any money for, But when they grow old, the man has all the money and they none. Otherwise, they can work for sure, and then they can do the kids and the work and everything else what they do anyway on one back. So I'm not here to complain. I'm just here to raise the awareness about that and just to really make you think if this is in order and where it's coming from. So one question of that is, because I know that it is still strongly connected also what we think about ourselves from the religions that are going on in our societies. And so we have Allah, we have God, and we have, these are like the two big guys. They're ruling, lots of our religions. And they are male, but they should be like the all-in-one. But the all-in-one can't be male. So this is very confusing, but it does a lot of damage to to women, so to young girls, when it's always a male figure that you're praying to. So, and why is there not the female goddess anymore? Before Christianity, because before these May gods think they have to ruin, all earth, we had female goddesses everywhere. They were the ones that were birthing, because the female is birthing, not the male, The female is giving life on this planet. So why shouldn't it be different on other levels? It's the female energy that is carrying and giving birth to life. So at least we have to put the goddess more into our awareness too, beside the God, And in Christianity, you have like the Holy Spirit, the wise dove, white dove. It's Sophia. It's an old ancient goddess of the wisdom. She is the inspiration for all these saints, for all these, angels that are coming through, for God itself, She's the mother. All thoughts to bring into your awareness. And for me, why I'm making that so long, because I think this is our responsibility at the moment, not to fight. I'm not feeling like it's still time to fight. It's not about fighting, because fights at that moment in that level can just be lost. So it's not about against man or anything, because we all have man and women in us. So we all have yin and yang, we all have female, male in us. And so it's something that belongs to all of us. Now, no matter if we are woman or if we are man, we're struggling from that, all of us. It's about consciousness. So what I invite you with this highly energy coming, this week, with going more into this abundance of creation, of the source of all that is, God, Goddess, to empower that in us, to see that the Goddess is in you as well, is coming through you, is coming through your life. And it's the God, Goddess, the all that is coming through you. And to see that this God and Goddess is in you as well. There is no separation. There is no separation. They're both in you. They are you. You are them. And so to call this energy, this godless female and this godly male forth in you and in all of us. And it's not to put anyone down. It's not to go into self-pityness. It's really to create the equality, in all of us, in our lives, where we are now, in ourselves. This is the first where we have to start, where we get to start, all of us. So, long post. So the energy of this week is this abundance, and while tapping into these fishes and Aquarius, it's like, a lot of boundlessness. So, it's a long post, and it's, sometimes perhaps you feel this week like, oh God, where do I end? Where do I start? Where I'm going? So, but it's this endless energy. It's this all that is surrounding you and going through you, and that is your source of abundance. So I invite you to call the queen in you, as an example, Elizabeth I, the queen and the goddess forth in you. And to invite this power. I know that this is connected to lots of fears, as I said, because the mother of Elizabeth got killed. So going into our power as female, and as man the same, going into the female power in themselves, brings up a lot of fears of being killed in the past, of being ancestors from the past being killed, and all these memories need to come up, just be felt and released, and still stepping into it no matter what. So just to open the room to a future where we all are equal on this planet, not just as humans, then also as all the other beings, as it was in the older cultures, and in some still is. Just the awareness that we are a part of all that. We are not ruling it. We are not being ruled by it when it's, in the best way. So, okay. So far, enough preaching. Take care. Have a lovely week. Love to hear how you felt about that, what you thought, and what was coming up for you this week. Big hug to you. Bye.